What's up, good people? I'm just Major. We're here to talk about it. Man, apartment building collapses in New York City, in the Bronx particularly, and then downtown Houston as well. It's either the same day or they are a day apart. Both, I think, for the same reason with the boiler rooms. But let's check out what happened in New York first, and then we'll travel on over to Houston.
Now at noon, terrifying moments in the Bronx, part of a NYCHA building collapsing into a pile of rubble. We are live on the scene right now. Welcome to the Noon and Bianca Peters. Officials say it was an incinerator shaft on the corner of the high-rise building that came crashing down, bringing part of the facade with it. This video showing the moments when that shaft came crashing down in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. Onlookers from nearby buildings watching in horror as this all went down. We do have team coverage of the collapse first at noon with Arthur Chin and Anton Lewis on the scene. Let's kick things off with Arthur. Arthur, we did hear from officials a short time ago. Well, what's the update on this?
Let's go over the details, Bianca. At 8:10 this morning were the first reports of an explosion here at this location. This is 205 Alexander up here in the Bronx. This is a massive NYCHA complex that spans from 137th Street to 135th Street. And as we turn up there, pieces are still coming down off the...
Man, 137 to 135th. Now, I'm not from New York. I've been there once, but that sounds like 2 blocks. Man, that's huge. Well, look at this. Look at this. The building looks old right here. I'm not going to zoom in, but look at these. Look at this. HVAC units out the window. I don't even know how they're passing inspections. I've not seen anything like this in Atlanta since the projects. And they've torn all of them down here in Atlanta since what? Late 90s, early 2000s. And yeah, this is wild.
This building, let's go back to that video that we just showed our viewers, which was obtained by Fox 5, showing the collapse. This was shot, we were told, by a resident in a neighboring building. It shows the top part of that chimney stack raining down. That's more than 20 stories high and came crashing down to the ground. It is an absolute miracle at this point that nobody was hurt. An FDNY source says they went over surveillance video to see if anybody was walking in that area. There was one gentleman that they saw, and they say even that person has been accounted for. So at this point, there are no injuries to report. Now, 2 apartment lines in that building are fully evacuated as officials are trying to figure out whether or not the building's structural integrity still stands. Here's part of what Mayor Adams just said now after being briefed here at the scene.
With the scenes of preliminary investigations, there was some type of explosion. This happened at 8:10 this morning. We received reports of an incident involving the chimney to the boiler room here at NYCHA's Mitchell houses. This resulted in a partial building's collapse.
Now, this is video from the back side of the building, the other side from where we are standing. You can see that the massive wall is still dangling on its own without support. And that is one major piece of work that needs to be done, as this will have to come down and has to be removed carefully since it's attached to apartments. They can't simply just saw it off. As for the cause, the mayor pointing out today, October 1st is the first day that heat was turned on here in the city. There are some reports that people smelled gas prior to this collapse. That's being looked into right now. We also asked the commissioner of the Department of Buildings if there was current ongoing work being done on the boiler that sits directly below the point of collapse. And this is what he just told us.
My understanding is that work was being done on the boiler. I don't know if our friends in fire or Con Ed want to speak to that. Permit was pulled and work was being done on it actively.
We're going to stop it right there for New York. Let's go ahead and check on Houston. Man, boiler room, first day, heat was turned on. I'm not understanding why. Maybe that's a New York thing. I don't know. Maybe somebody from New York can holler at me in the comments and let me know what's going on. All right, let's see what's going on in Houston.
And we begin with breaking news at the top of this noon hour. Several people are hurt following a boiler explosion near a Holiday Inn Express that is under construction in downtown. You're looking at what appears to be damage at the top level of that building there. It looks like some windows and some of the siding there, the edge of that building pushed out. This is from viewer video showing the scene just moments ago. This all developed in just the past half hour. Good afternoon. I'm Sherman Chow. It happened off of Texas Avenue at Austin Street. Houston Fire telling us that the call came in around 11.
So this was a Holiday Inn Express, it sounds like she says. Man, that's a newer building. Man, that's crazy.
This morning. And here's what we know right now. HFD telling us that the initial call was for a high-rise fire. No word yet on how many people are hurt. Our Marcelino Benito is in the newsroom with more on this construction project. Marcelino.
Well, Sherman, we're trying to learn as much as we can about this construction project. As you mentioned off the top, we know it's a Holiday Inn Express hotel. It's also a combination hotel with what's called Staybridge Suites. This was under construction. Our understanding is it is not open yet. Based on what some reporting we're seeing and learning about, this was a 275-room hotel that was set to open actually sometime in October 2025. We've learned that the construction project actually began in October 2023. It was a significant deal at the time. One of the larger hotels that was going to be built downtown, just a few blocks from Dyken Park, if you're familiar with that area.
We're going to stop it right there. Man, another boiler room explosion. This time in a Holiday Inn Express, not in an apartment. And this is a much newer building. Still ongoing construction, it seems. It's wild. But that's going to be it for today, y'all. Holler at me in the comments and let me know what you think. I'm just Majors, so are you. And I'm going to get out of here. 3 million subscribers. Loading.